Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28.
He said, oh, well, we have an idea for that. They're gonna try to move this, whatever ideas they have, which is nonsense. They don't have any ideas. Their idea is, why don't we go for fascism, okay? Or do this stupid QC trick, which, you know, I mean, like, I can't give Trump any credit on this. He's the one going, oh, maybe I'll run for a third term. And I'm not joking, I'm not joking.
If you read it, am I not ruling it out? You'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2028 is about to be lit. It's about to be fire. It's about to be the most crucial election ever. Even more possibly crazy than 2024 because President Trump just might run again. Now, this topic isn't something new. I've discussed it on this channel probably more than once, but what I haven't discussed more than once, I don't think, is whether or not there's going to be a rematch between the cackler Kamala Harris, the wannabe cackler in chief Kamala Harris, who got cooked, swept, absolutely annihilated by President Trump with pretty much minimal effort. I thought it was going to be way harder than that, but I guess $2 billion wasn't nearly enough. She's over here claiming that, well, maybe she'll run again. Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. Who knows? By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you. Quick shout out to my members, 655, Cat 3309, and Noodle. Could not do it without you.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done. I have lived my entire career a life of service, and it's in my bones. And there are many ways to serve. I've not decided yet what I will do in the future beyond what I am doing right now.
But you've been very clear that it's a possibility you might run again to become president. And in my experience interviewing politicians, when someone says I'm not done, it means they are thinking seriously about running. But
yep, she's running. And if Harris was giving up on her quest for the presidency, well, she would have ruled it out explicitly by now. She's clearly leaving the door open because she's going to walk through it.
But I think we all know what this really means. Of course, she's going to run. I 100% agree with Robbie here that, of course, if she can convince donors to give her another $2 billion or more, hey, I know I squandered all your money last time, but trust me, this time I can win. Maybe I'll go up against like Nikki Haley or Chris Christie or something. Please give me another chance. She absolutely will run if she gets that money. If they throw that money at her, oh, best believe she'll take that humiliating defeat yet again. But even the conversation of President Trump possibly running again is melting the left's brains.
You know, many people who say there's no way he would do it. Well, those are the same people that said the Supreme Court is never going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. Those are the people that said things like, he's never going to have these mass men disappearing people. He's done everything that people thought that he would never do. Mm-hmm. I actually have come to the conclusion that he is most definitely going to try to remain in power.
But the president should not, the Constitution is really clear. You are elected, you can serve a certain amount of time, and then no longer. And I think that there are, as Bannon threatened, I would say, like, we do have to take this quite seriously. We should view it as a threat. There are patterns that are established, and we should look at them. I think that when he threatens that there are workarounds, there's all sorts of nightmarish scenarios that we can imagine. But what we do have to decide here as Americans, no matter what party we belong to, is what kind of country do we have?
Does he want to stay in power, Jordan? Despite what the US Constitution says, despite America being a democracy, etc. Of course he wants to stay in power. The most important part of this, Jordan, is the MAGA reaction. Why? Because he's testing the waters here. Are his voters going to back him up and encourage him to do it again, or are they going to say no?
He does something that people think is absurd until it's not absurd, until he actually tries to do it. So I've learned to take the man very seriously. This is not a laughing matter. This is unconstitutional. This is against the law. America does not have kings. We have elections to choose our leadership. According to the Constitution, he's not eligible to run in 2028, and him joking about it is not funny. And I'm not going to laugh about it either.
Stop being such a pussy.
Now, I want you guys to bear in mind, because I've said this in the last video, that President Trump isn't just going around just casually talking about this. What's happening the vast majority of the time is the left is continually putting it in the air. They're continually asking him stupid questions about it. So inevitably, what does he start doing? He starts, hey, maybe I will run again. He starts posting stupid memes and AI videos showing himself being a king, or, you know, showing himself winning the 2028 election, the 2032 election. Of course, he's going to do that because just look at how they're acting. It is comical. It's funny. I'm laughing at it every single time I see the left have these over-the-top reactions for every single thing Trump says, anything that he does. I laugh at it because I'm like, you people are seriously stupid for overreacting so much to every little thing. For crying out loud, the possibility of this happening is so low. And even if it does, that would mean that something legally happened in order to make it happen. That's how our democracy works, is things have to go through proper channels. And if they do go through those channels, I don't see what the problem is. So the rematch aside, because we all know that Kamala Harris she's not even going to make it through a primary anyway, so that's never going to happen. But that aside, now they're talking about, oh, well, we don't want a third term possibility, or we don't want to reveal how, because, oh, well, Barack Hussein Obama could run again, and then that would be the end for Trump. Guys, President Trump is very different. I want you guys to bear this in mind before we even get too deep into the Obama conversation. Barack Obama went up against people who, in my opinion, were very weak conservative candidates. John McCain was not a strong opponent. I don't even know how the hell he won his primary. And Mitt Romney was a fraud. I never liked Mitt Romney, never do. Sorry for anybody who likes Mitt Romney. I never liked the guy then, don't like him now. I think he's been a fraud forever. He's anti-Trump. He does not support the conservative agenda now, and I don't think he honestly ever did. I just think he was all the Republicans had at the time. So now you got leftists saying, well, hey, go ahead and let Trump run again. We'll just bring out Obama again.
Tell me that you're afraid of Barack Obama without telling me you're afraid of Barack Obama. Tell me that you're not actually in favor of democracy without telling me you're not actually in favor of democracy. Because if you want to say third term, look, I'm not a big Barack Obama fan. I don't necessarily wouldn't necessarily want him to run again, okay? But apparently Bannon, Trump, and all the other leaders of the Republican movement are like, oh, no, not Obama, not Obama. We have to double cheat. Our guy can run, but your guy can't run because we think your guy would kick our guy's ass and he's way more popular. So we're gonna maneuver everything so that he can't run, but we can. All right, then you're admitting that you wanna cheat, you wanna get rid of the Constitution, you don't wanna play by the rules, you hate our democracy. Just admit it, just say it.
You know, the same guy that they love bringing out. If Obama was freaking dead, they would literally have AI videos of him or show old clips of him in order to try to get new Democrats that aren't even half the man he is to get them elected. So this guy is absolutely the Lord and Savior of the Democrats because they don't believe in God anyway. Most of them these days, especially, they certainly don't promote Christianity. They're very anti-Christian, which is one of the reasons that I cannot support the radical left Democrat Party. But Obama versus President Trump, Obama never went up against difficult opponents. I would argue that Hillary Clinton was actually by far President Trump's best and strongest opponent. I think that if you take that 2020 rigged election and you put Hillary Clinton there, Hillary Clinton smokes President Trump in that election because she was better than Sleepy Joe and better than Kamala Harris as well. Hillary Clinton is a tough opponent. She's smart and she's very conniving and calculated. And, you know, she kind of had that whole real establishment Democrat Party and basically like a mafia behind the scenes behind her. Whereas a lot of people really wasn't backing Sleepy Joe like that. He just kind of got lucky because of the basically mail-in ballot election. Hell, even Kamala Harris probably would have won during that fraudulent election. But unluckily for them, I guess God had other plans and said no female presidents. On a serious note though, do I think that Obama could beat President Trump? No. Obama, at his peak back in the day, do I think he could have beat Trump? Maybe. But as time's progressed, I feel like President Trump is now more popular than he ever was before. This is the most votes he's ever gotten. Obama's popularity has went down because everybody realized he's the president of gay folks and having a sorry marriage that's falling apart. That's basically what he's the president over. He is not the symbol that he was before. His wife is basically emasculating him on podcasts, and he's, every time you turn around, trying to shame black men into voting for somebody rather than explaining why they're making a good decision that's going to help them, help their families, help, you know, their kids, their wives, their moms, like whatever sauce that this man used to have is long gone at this point. Whereas President Trump is way older, and he got people over here dancing across literally the world, doing new Trump dances that he's making up on the fly, all kinds of stuff. He's much more stronger of an icon than President Barack Obama was at the time. And in general, Trump just has a stronger movement. His whole thing is called MAGA. What is Barack Obama's called? I know he said, yes, we can. He doesn't have a movement of people like that. He doesn't have that type of coalition at the end of the day. And as a black man, I know tons of other black men, vast majority of them have very little respect for Barack Obama like they did back in the day when people obviously were voting for him, myself included. I voted for him back then because I didn't know what the hell type of BS this loser was going to be on. But no, I don't think that the Lord and Savior Barack Hussein Obama would stand a chance against President Trump in 2028 if anything like that were to occur, which obviously that's not going to happen. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching The Black Anomaly. Rising channel. I'm out.
We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started.